This is going to be a quick lesson on character types. So you might be thinking, well, I just know that there's characters in the story and that's really all that matters. And that's true, but not all characters are created equally, okay? Um, a lot of characters are just kind of in the story because they have little parts here and little parts there, but they don't play the main role, okay? Think about who in your story is going to have the happy ending or who is going through the really hard time that everybody else is kind of just trying to help them get through. Okay, they all play different roles, and so that's why we're going to kind of talk about the different types of characters and try to understand the roles that they play. So basically, in fiction, an author may use different types of characters, and that's how they're going to be able to tell their story. Our first character type is going to be a major character. A lot of times you might call this person the main character, but right now we're just going to call them the major character. This character is the vital piece to the development and the resolution of the conflict. That just means the whole plot of a story usually is kind of building up to the main climax, like the conflict that's really gonna like end the world. And then, we always want it to kind of resolve to the happy ending. So basically, it develops as a conflict, then it's like resolves to the happy ending, okay? And that's the major character's place to go through the hard time and to get over it, all right? And to have a happy ending. In other words, the plot and the resolution of the conflict, like basically everything that happens, revolves around the major characters, okay? Like it's their struggle and their happy ending. Okay? The next one is the minor character. This is everybody else pretty much, okay? Minor characters are going to be the ones that are just playing a small role. They don't help the plot actually happen. They just kind of maybe motivate the main character here and push them along here, inspire them here. They're just playing small roles, okay? So this is where you start to have little branches off of the major character or the minor character roles, okay? Normally, your major character is going to go through a change in life. That is called being a dynamic character. When they go through the change, the major character goes through a change, they are dynamic. They are resolving their conflicts, they're facing their crises, and they're learning from it, okay? So you can kind of think about most major characters are going to be like a major dynamic character. They're going to be both, okay? Just like the major character is a dynamic character, the minor character usually can be a static character. That just means they start one way and over time in the story they don't change, okay? They have the same personality. They never really show you their struggles. They don't transform or learn a lesson. They just kind of stay the same, okay? And then the last one, this is like another option. Basically, you might have some characters that are just complex. They are often kind of conflicted and they're kind of contradictory, like they're a little bit hard maybe to understand. That's going to be your round character. Let's look at a few familiar characters from The Secret Garden. Dickon is definitely a minor character because we're not learning about his hardships in life and about his lessons that he's learning. And he's definitely a static character because he starts off as a farm boy and he kind of is that way the whole time. He never really changes who he is, and he's always kind of that person that's in the garden and likes the animals and is Mary's friend. And he doesn't really change. So he's a static minor character. And Ben, he's kind of the same, okay? He doesn't play a huge role, but he definitely does, introduce Mary to the Robin, and so that was a very special role to play, but, he doesn't really have any major impact on what is happening with the conflict of the story and really the plot. So he would definitely be a minor character. So think to yourself, now that you've kind of reviewed major characters and minor characters, think to yourself, does Mary go through a change in the story? Yes or no? And if you say yes, then she would be a major character. And Martha, her pal, she kind of stays the same. She's that the nice, helping friend, and she stays the same throughout the story. And Colin, okay, he is very similar to Mary in the sense that they both came from a very hard background, and then now they're moving into what looks like a promising future. So they're kind of growing, and we see their struggle, we see their challenges, and we see them overcome them. And so that makes him a major character as well that's dynamic. We see his change, okay? So basically, if you see them change, then they are going to be major with the dynamic, okay? And if you don't see a change, they're static. They're just helping the plot move forward, so they're a minor character. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you need to look at this, take some notes, go ahead and do that now. Pause your video.